All right, we need to find the center of the focus of the ellipse here. So it's kind of hard to see that because we're that. So here we go. We have x squared plus 9 over 11. Now the square root of x plus 9 quantity squared. The quantity y plus 4 squared over 36, they equal 1. And ellipse is where that is a plus. Well, first off, my formula is right up here. And notice the h and k, or in this form here, is the center. Now, something else I want to point out is this here. A is always the larger of these. 36 is larger than 11. So I know this ellipse tends to be a little more vertical than it is horizontal. So first off, the center, I know this here by inside Bayer. If those are both positive, it makes these both negative. So it's -9, -4. So I know it's not A, and I know it's not D. Just right off the bat. Next, I'm going to do this here. I need to find the foci. Well, if you remember this, A is the distance from the center to the major vertice. So if it's the long one kind of going up like right here, A is that distance from there to there. All right? B will be the distance for the minor one. There to there. That one's B. All right? And then C is your actual little focus somewhere in here. And if you remember this here, about those, it's the distance from the center to the foci. Well, here's how we can get it. We can get it by doing a squared minus b squared equals c squared. Well, if a squared is 36 and b squared is 11, I can just subtract them. I don't have to find square root and put them back. And so then that means c squared is 25. Square root that, so it's plus or minus 5, which basically means this. I need to add 5 to, now notice the foci, since it's going vertical, I know I need to add that to the y value. That's going to be still the -9. So I'm going to do -4 plus 5. I'm going to do -4 minus 5, which gives my foci of -9, 1 and -9, 9, which makes the answer what? Letter B. Letter B is the answer there. Okay? Now then, on this next problem, let's just erase that real fast there. Find the ellipse. Well, first off, without doing any work, is this one an ellipse? No. So let's go ahead and mark it out. We know that's not an ellipse. I'm not even going to mess with that one. But what I need to do is this here. Remember my formula. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to put the x's together. Notice I rewrote it with the x's together and the y's together, and I move the 16 to the other side. Now, I always need to have an x squared by itself. So what's in front of it? 4. So I need to factor a 4 out of just these two. Well, 4 times 4 is x squared. And 4 times x squared makes 4 squared. And 4 times -8 makes -32. And I'm leaving a space. And I'm putting a parentheses. This one has a 16 in front, so I'm factoring a 16 out. And so the -32 divided by 16 makes -2. And I move that positive 16, like I said, it's still on the other side. Now, I have to complete the square. Go to this middle number right here, no matter what it is, divide it by 2, which makes -4, and then I'm going to square the -4 to get 16. Well, I'm going to add a 16 right here, but I really didn't add 16. I added 4 times 16, and 4 times 16 is 64. So I have to add a 64 over here. Wow, it's a lot of stuff, Coach Stoney. Yes, I know. Now come back to this one, do the same thing here. This time taking the -2 divided by 2, which makes -1. But I have to square the -1, which makes a +1. So I'm going to add a +1 here. But adding 1 here was really adding 16 times 1. So I need to add a 16 right here. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see better on my hand or not, but I've added a 16 right there. So, whoa! Now, we complete the square. So that, see that -4 right there? That's going to become this. That parentheses factors to this. This set of parentheses factors to the y minus 1, the numbers we got, with the 4 and 16 in front, and -16 plus 64 plus 16 makes 64. Well, now, to be an ellipse, it always equals 1, so I need to divide everything by 64. Whoa, Nelly! Well, 4 will go into 64. That's 9 times, 16 times, and 16 will go into 64 4 times, so I have this. So I know this one's a little more horizontal than it is vertical, but these graphs, if you'll notice, are not necessarily drawn to scale. They're there to trick you. But I do know this. My center is at 4, 1. Well, that eliminates C because that center is at 0, 0. I think both these are at 4, 1. That didn't eliminate either one of these here. So next I'm going to do this. A squared is 16. When I square root, that's 4. So what I know is the center out has to be 4. Well, if you look at this one here, I think that goes out to 5, which is not a 4, so it can't be this one. This one does go to 4. And if I want to test it out to be sure, the b squareds is 4, so square root that, it's 2, and it is 2 from there to there if you look at the other. So that makes the answer here to this one choice D. Choice D is the answer here. Kind of eliminated the others anyway. All right, and one more ellipse. Now this one's a lot nicer. Which one of these is the ellipse? Well, first off, I know B's not because it's not an ellipse. Here, I know the center is at 0, 0 because there's no H and K off of them. Both these are at the center, all right? Now, I want to say this here. I can tell this is a horizontal ellipse where it should be longer horizontally, but these are not drawn to scale. Notice, 4 is here, yet this box here is 2.5. So it's not drawn accurately. This one's 2.5 down to here and 4. They're not drawn the same. But I'm going to look at this here. A squared is 36. Meaning that horizontally, because A is horizontal here, that's 6. So let's see if each of these are 6. Yeah, it looks like that they both go out to 6. From here to here, 6. There to there, 6 looks like to me. But the B squared is 25. So I square root that is 5. So these have to be 5. Well, notice here, those were both 6s, like I said earlier. But this one, 5 stops right there, which is too short. 5 does hit it here. I don't like this because technically, this graph should look more like this here. If I was to draw everything that scales the same, your graph will look more longer that way than that way. Not a whole lot, but it should. So these graphs are not drawn to scale. All right. So the correct answer here is letter C. Is letter C right there on the following. I only have 6 and 5. There we go, is letter C.